Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just a little over 1 month away from its official release by Disney and Lucasfilm, director J.J. Abrams, and even creator George Lucas, that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm view The Rise of Skywalker by far as one of the most important Star Wars films to date when it comes to their movies, because this really is 40 plus years in the making and is going to signal the very end of the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy before they move on to other projects with the new Star Wars trilogy and a handful of live-action TV series on Disney+. And that Disney and Lucasfilm, they did go through a lot of different changes throughout the months of August, September, and October, which is what we will be going over today and why it's rather unfortunate about the ending of Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's explained that during the reshoots of the film, during the months of August, September, and October, is when Disney and Lucasfilm made many changes and adjustments to the second and third acts of the film. It's explained that one of the scenes that went through a major change was the final scene of the movie that would involve many characters within the final frames of the film. It's described that one of the vital scenes of the film that were cut from the movie by Disney and Lucasfilm due to reshoots involved a segment in which Luke Skywalker originally was going to fight Palpatine by blocking the Force lightning from hitting both Rey and Kylo Ren in order to save them in one of the sequences. It's described that this scene was a part of the 6 different endings that Disney and Lucasfilm were experimenting with before the reshoots took place, and that this was described to be based off of an original vision by George Lucas for Return of the Jedi in the original scripts. Mark Hamill as Luke would have fought against Palpatine by deflecting the Sith lightning back at Sidious, pushing him into the wall, giving Rey and Kylo Ren enough time to recuperate. This was ultimately scrapped due to the new direction that Disney and Lucasfilm wanted for the film during the reshoots that changed many segments of the second and third acts of the movie. Additionally, it said that Palpatine even used a lightsaber in the scene at one point in time. Now, let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why, in my opinion, this was a bad move by Disney and Lucasfilm and is really much, a very unfortunate situation for The Rise of Skywalker as a movie. To me, I feel like that this scene in and on itself would have really won the fans over. Really would have actually created something very unique for the character of Luke Skywalker, actually facing Palpatine once and for all in a throne room battle where he's saving both Rey and Kylo Ren. Not only that, but this particular moment was actually said to be based off of an original script idea by George Lucas for Return of the Jedi. You guys may recall that in Return of the Jedi, originally that both, of course, the Force ghosts of Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi were said to intervene and protect Luke Skywalker from the Force lightning hitting him by Palpatine and deflecting it back at Sidious. The same exact thing applies here, where J.J. Abrams was going to use one of George Lucas's original ideas that never made it to the final cut of Episode 6, that was actually going to be utilized in the sense where Luke's Force Ghost this time, and only Luke's Force Ghost, would deflect the lightning back at Palpatine, causing him to crash into a stone wall in the background. Now, that would actually provide Rey and Kylo Ren to have enough time to either recuperate or gain more energy to fight Sidious on an even scale. Now, to me, I will say this, that when we look at Episode 9, the fact that Palpatine is back, regardless, I'm still very excited about Palpatine's return and the fact that Ian McDiarmid is going to be reprising the role once more in the Skywalker saga. That's one of my main reasons as to why I am really excited to see The Rise of Skywalker, is to see exactly, what this version of Palpatine is going to be like in comparison to how he was done in, let's say, for example, Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith, right? Because when we look at Palpatine, he really is by far one of the biggest characters of all time in the Star Wars franchise. I mean, he is the very character that turned Anakin into becoming Darth Vader. So you can only imagine, what's going through Disney and Lucasfilm's mind in order to get the character of Palpatine done correctly, which honestly I believe will be done correctly. It's just a matter of what the character is going to do in the film. Now, with that being said, this particular scene would have really honored George Lucas as a creator. It would have been a great way for Disney and Lucasfilm to respect him in such a way by using this material in the finalized version of the movie. And not just that, this would have also given us at least a real action scene for the character of Luke Skywalker, actually protecting the sequel trilogy characters like Rey and Kylo Ren, Now, unfortunately, due to the reshoots, they actually had to change all those ideas and change things over to, one of the two endings that they are now dwindled down to, that they are kind of bouncing back and forth between. And to me, I think that when we look at episode 9 here, this really is a very important movie, and that Disney and Lucasfilm need to get this down correctly in order to really gain the trust of fans and where the Star Wars franchise is going for the future, to see exactly, what it entails. And Palpatine by far really is the driving force for the hype of this movie. There's no doubt about that. There's no denying that. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.